remember being 6 years old when my parents were trying to find a sport to put me in. So I think they did what every other parent has done with their daughter and put me in ballet. My first class, I sat and watched with all the parents, and when I decided to join the class, I cried. Absolutely sobbed. For whatever reason, I did not like ballet. My twin brother Michael was also trying sports. He decided to do martial arts. As I watched him in awe at each practice, I decided I wanted to be like Michael. So we started Taekwondo together. My very first class, I was excited and a little nervous. The feeling of the mat touching my feet for the first time is something I'll never forget. I instantly felt like I was home. And because of this, a fire in me was ignited. Every class after that, I wanted to get better and better, and the fire in me grew stronger and stronger. After putting in the time and effort, I would test for a new belt and dream about one day getting my black belt. The fire in me grew stronger and stronger. After competing in a couple of local competitions, I went to my first national competition in Dallas, Texas. I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I felt like there were so many athletes that were better than me. Ultimately, I ended up losing my first sparring match. That first major failure was a huge turning point for me. I wanted to compete and train only in sparring. Yes, there are other areas of competition in Taekwondo, but I just wanted to fight. I wanted to be in the ring. The fire in me grew stronger and stronger. The next year, I saw the 2012 Olympic Games held in London on TV. I saw the excitement athletes had as they won their matches, as well as the devastation they had when they lost them. Seeing that Olympic Games made me realize I wanted to be one of those athletes in London. I wanted to go to the Olympic Games. The fire in me grew stronger and stronger. Taekwondo is my passion. To this day, I believe Taekwondo is my first love. I would eat, sleep, and breathe Taekwondo. It became my whole personality. There were so many sacrifices that I made to get closer to my Olympic dream, including moving to Miami to train with an Olympic Taekwondo coach. I did all my high school classes virtually so I'd be able to complete homework and exams on a plane to my next competition. Competitions would be at least every month, and trainings would be twice a day for 5 days a week, and sometimes 3 times a day if my dad, who I also considered to be my coach, thought it was necessary. The fire in me grew stronger and stronger. And the more I competed, the higher I got my national ranking. By the time I was at the end of my career in 2018, I ranked number 1 in the junior under 44 kilogram category nationally and within the top 10 in the under 46 kilogram category. From losing my first national match to being first in my category took years and years of sacrifice, discipline, and resilience. By no means was this easy physically, mentally, or emotionally. And to clarify, I was not a professional athlete, but I sure did live like one. I even graduated as valedictorian in my very small class of 17, all while competing. The fire in me was at its absolute strongest. In 2019, I stayed in a 2-bedroom apartment to train with some of the best athletes and coaches. The night of the Super Bowl that year, the Patriots and the Rams were on. I was witnessing Tom Brady win another Super Bowl. As I was getting ready to go to bed, I texted my mom goodnight while missing her presence. She always told me to train hard, and that night, she told me for the last time. As I was thinking about the 2 training sessions I had the next day, I remember thinking to myself, I don't want to train in the morning. The fire in me was now growing weaker and weaker. I had loved Taekwondo for so long, and I still do, but I was not competing for myself anymore, and I hadn't for a while. It was hard to think about or even admit to myself, and the fire in me was growing weaker and weaker. I was doing what my coach, my family, and friends expected of me. It was hard to think about and even admit to myself. The fire in me grew weaker and weaker. I was watching Tom Brady, a master of his craft, absolutely dominate the football world. I wanted to dominate my Taekwondo world. But the other part of me felt incredibly relieved when I admitted this to myself and then to my dad, that this was no longer my dream anymore. That night, my dad and I had a serious discussion about leaving the sport for good. To make a long story short, I decided to go back home and start a new chapter in my life, leaving the 11 years of Taekwondo behind for good. I was relieved, yes, but I was filled with doubt. Is this the right choice for me? I've been doing Taekwondo for 11 years. All of this for what? Just to give up? Let go of my Olympic dream? Let down my support system? I don't even know who I am without Taekwondo because Taekwondo is all I am. Who am I? The fire in me was gone. No more drive, no more desire, no more passion. The fire in me was gone. I became depressed. I felt like a failure. I felt like I was nothing. Looking back on that time now has made me realize that the hardest decisions come with the most potential for growth. The summer before I began my college years, I had to figure out what I wanted, who I wanted to become. I didn't just give myself the summer. I continued to give myself all of my college days to figure out what it is I wanted. And disclaimer, I still don't know everything I want of life, but I do know this. It's okay to walk away from something, especially when you no longer have a burning desire for it anymore. People stay in jobs that are comfortable because it's just that, comfortable. People stay in unfulfilling relationships and think it's too late to start over. People, especially people my age, don't go after their dreams because their families disapprove or it is not a societal norm. Comfort does not allow for growth. If anything, you are settling for a life not worth living, and if you didn't know already, we don't have a lot of time to live it. My dad always told me to never settle. Never settle for a life less than what you want just because it's easy, convenient, or an escape. I've heard this so many times throughout my life that it just so happens to be tattooed on my arm in my dad's handwriting, so I don't think I could forget it. My mom always tells me to kick down the door. If there isn't an opportunity, I should make one. Go through the doors that are open, but when you're stuck, kick down the door. Unfortunately, I do not have this one tattooed on my arm, but I know I'll remember it forever. Sorry, Mom. So, what about me? What's my catchphrase? Run to the fire. Find your passion, learn what makes you tick, find what lights your soul on fire, and be that every single day. Be that no matter what people say, what societal expectations are. If you fail, if you embarrass yourself, just be your passion. Nelson Mandela once said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that is less than one you are capable of living." Be courageous to live out your passions, real passions, not just a fast-burning fire you feel in your heart. That's a hobby. That's infatuation. Passion is a long-burning fire you feel in your soul that gets better and better with time. It's not just a drive, it's an obsession. It's not just something you do, it's who you are. It's not just your dream, it's your plan. You're not just working at it within the week, you're working at it for years and years. Taekwondo gave me the foundations of lessons that I needed to learn in order to excel at my true obsession. I want to become a neurosurgeon. I realized I gave up one hard dream for another incredibly hard dream. I didn't walk away from Taekwondo just to have an easier life. I walked away to live a life truer to who I am. I love the brain. I love the complexity of surgery. I love medicine and all its challenges. Medicine is my obsession. The fire in me is back. The fire in me is at its strongest. My fire is not only lit from medicine. Yes, it's a big part of it. But my fire is also lit from opportunities that are outside of my comfort zone. I continue to put myself out there, even if I fail. Losing my first nationals always reminds me that failure is part of the process. I am going to fail. I am going to make mistakes. It is what I do after those times that make me who I am. William Henley once wrote in his poem Invictus, "I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." Although both journeys in Taekwondo and medicine have not been easy, the attitude that I carry allows me to be the master of my fate and the captain of my soul. And because of that, the fire in me continues to grow stronger and stronger every single day. Run to the fire, feed it every day. You call the shots in your life. Yes, there will be opinions and doubt, criticism and failure, but there is also growth, a newfound confidence, and a fearlessness on the other side of those hard decisions. You are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. Run to the fire. Kick down the door. Never settle. Don't be afraid to take a chance, not only on your dreams, but on yourself.